What's up guys, it's the Beauty Wonder Gaibriul here, coach of the LA Galuxray, and welcome to Week 2, Season 2 of the Battle Union. Of course, this is our first game because last week's match against Sizzlesome did not go ahead. It has been postponed until the December mid-season interval, whatever you want to call it, just due to timing issues. I don't think I need to mention any more than that. The match will be coming, just not yet. So this is our first game, but it is the second week. So I'm still new with this team, but we're against a very competent player, a fantastic player in fact, and that is Skyrander. You guys probably have heard of him before, of course you have. He's a great guy and a great YouTuber. Definitely go check out his channel, links are in the description. He's got a scary team. I'm not that confident in mine. But I'm confident of my abilities, kind of. So we're going to do well to pull this victory off. I've already gone through the team analysis, I'm not going to do that again. So, if you want to see what team I have built and what I presume he's going to bring, then go and check out I'll probably put an annotation on the screen to link to the video. If not, the link will be in the description to go to my team preview for week 2 of the season. You'll see all my picks, the decisions behind them, and some little fancy graphics as well, because that's what I do. But anyway guys, I don't want to go through this anymore. There's no point to keep bombarding you with words. So what I'm going to do is the next thing you're going to see is me in the post-recorded battle. So, enjoy. Right then, so as you can see on your screen, you can see my team which I decided to bring, and to be fair, we were almost spot on with the predictions for what he'd bring. He has brought the Alakazam, the Landorus, the Cobalion, the Heracross, the Drapion, and the Thundurus. So no Mega Diancie. That is a big thing for me because I was terrified of it. I had to prepare my team well for it, and him not bringing it kind of destroys a little bit of the plans I had. But anyway, we're going to go into the first few turns, so I'm just going to hit play. There we go. And with seeing that, I presume, to be honest, he'd probably lead off with either his Landorus or his Thundurus. If it wasn't, I could scout out now whether his Landorus was scarfed if he brought it. If it was Thundurus, I was always going to switch out. So I led off with my Kieran, which would out to be the Landorus if he wasn't scarfed. He comes in with the Thundurus. I'm not going to stay in. It's obvious Prankster T-Wave is coming. I'm going to get straight out of there. I'm not going to go into Hippowdon in case he predicts me and goes for Hidden Power Ice. I'm going to go straight into Dragalge, which can eat that hit up and can just take the Thunder Wave for slowing up anyway. It's going to scare the Thundurus out because it doesn't want to take a Draco. Nothing really does. But we're not going to do that. We're going to fire off the Scald because we want to try and get a burn on his quite physically offensive team, strangely enough. And that's exactly what we do. But first bit of hacks comes into the game, and that is that my Dragalge was paralysed. So I have to switch out here because Dragalge doesn't really want to just sit there and fire off Scalds. I'm going to go into Mew to try and fire off the Will-O-Wisp as soon as I get the chance, and I know I can eat up the hit perfectly well. He goes to the Iron Head, it does no damage at all. We get the leftover recovery. He's not going to want to stand against this because obvious Will-O-Wisp is obvious. It's coming. So he's going to switch out into the, most probably as I thought anyway, the Drapion, and that's physically offensive. I would like to get a burn off on this as well, and that's exactly what we do. We don't miss the Wisp, which is absolutely fantastic. Now I was fearing the Pursuit here. I didn't want to sort of like play this game with him, so I stayed in thinking I can eat up any attack anyway, especially now that he's burned, and this gives me the chance to set up my Tailwind and then predicting the Pursuit U-turn out. So he goes for the knockoff. Luckily, not the Pursuit, which is I haven't seen yet, which is that's fair enough. We go for the Tailwind, we set it up, we now outspeed. Everything outspeeds. It's good, we're in a good position. Now I was here thinking he was going to Pursuit. So I wanted to get the U-turn out of there, get the Pursuit, hit me, and then I can bring something untouched. But because he didn't do the Pursuit, I was a little bit scared to bring something in to get knocked off or to take some damage. So I thought, okay, you know what, I'm going to play it safe. Even though Tailwind's up, I'm going to bring in the Hippowdon. It can eat the hits without any trouble whatsoever. If he hits me with something, of course, which he was going to go for anyway, physical attack, he'd get Rocky Helmet damage, he'd get the burn damage, and he'd get the sand damage, and that's exactly what happens. And it leaves him with very, very low health, and we lose the Rocky Helmet, which is a shame, but it's not bad at all. I'm perfectly happy with that. Now, seeing at the life he's at and predicting him to switch out, I did actually go for the Ice Fang because it would kill him at that range, and I thought, you know what, he's definitely going to come in with a flyer here, and he does exactly that, and it's amazing. We predicted perfectly well. We've got the Ice Fang against the Landorus, and we miss. Now that for me was massive. That was absolutely huge. This gives him a free switch into the Gaibriul, which is of course going to eat up the Ice Fang, and I have to go for it again. I can't predict the switch and go for the Earthquake. It's too dangerous. But we do get our first bit of good fortune here because the Ice Fang actually freezes. Yeah, you're right, freezes, which is madness. I don't even know what to say. No, it was obvious he was going to switch out there. He wasn't going to try and stay in whilst I fire for an EQ, so he's going to actually switch out. He's going to go into the Thunderous, and I'm going to take that chance to set up my rocks because he has no spin, he has no way to get rid of them, and I am very happy to get those up because they're going to be chipping away at his mons all day long. Now, predicting here either the Hidden Power Ice or the Grass Knot, I do switch out once again, thinking if he goes for that Hidden Power Ice, my Shenron, my Dragalge can take it without any damage, and if he goes without any trouble really, and if he goes for the Grass Knot, well, as you can see, which he does, that does nothing to us. And once again, he's in a predicament because he can't actually do anything to us with this Thunderous. He can set up a sub, but that would do nothing. He can get Nasty Plot, but he hasn't got any attacks that can deal enough damage because that tells me he hasn't got Hidden Power Ice on this. So he goes out straight into his Gaibriul. Now, fearing that, I didn't want to go for the Scald, so I fired off a Thunderbolt. I didn't want to drop a Draco there because it wouldn't do enough to kill the Gaibriul. And it was obvious if anything was going to come in, it was going to be that. And I didn't want that special attack drop. Now, he gets a bit of good fortune here, but it's fair enough. And he does actually get the Thor out, and he goes for the Swords Dance. And that is such a shame, because if he managed to actually stay frozen there, my Ember would be able to destroy it. But seeing as it's come in, seeing as that, I've luckily been able to scare him out where he believes this is actually scarfed. Now, unfortunately, I did have a misclick there. I meant to go for the Flare Blitz, which would kill it and which would do a massive chunk of damage to anything, but I misclicked and actually went for Super Battle, which is a real big shame. Now, that was a big turning point in the game, because if he'd stayed in there and got the Swords Dance and just fired off an attack, this thing was dead and we weren't outspeeding. And we would have lost a big mon, and he could have done some hefty damage. Luckily, I could come in and probably drop a Draco and end up, we would have been close to taking him out, and I could have brought in something to deal with it. It would have been okay, it wouldn't have been so bad. But we do actually switch out there. The Ember doesn't want to take an Earthquake, and we go straight out into Hippowdon. He's going to predict that, obviously, you know, the obvious switch is obvious again, and he's going to fire for Toxic. That's fine by me. My Hippowdon can just stand with that. That's okay. He goes for the U-turn to try and get some initiative to see if I do switch out, but I'm not going to go to. I'm going to stay in, and this is my chance again just to go for the Ice Fang, hoping he'd over-predict, because that Landorus for me it's a big problem, because he hasn't set up rocks yet, and I really don't want him to. So he goes straight onto the Drapion to sack off to see what I go for. I go for the Ice Fang. He already knows that, and we miss another one. Luckily this time around though, we have the burn and the sand damage to take it down. So this kill actually goes to Mew. Mad. Absolutely mad. Because that should have been Hippowdon's kill. I'm a little bit gutted, and it's unfair on the little fella because he's done well and he's doing a very good job today. So of course at this point now, he can come in with Gaibriul, and seeing that, that's obvious now he's got the Magnet Rise. So I'm not going to go for Earthquake, I'm not going to take that risk. I'm just going to slack off, restore my health, and see what he wants to go for. He does go for the Magnet Rise, revealing that he's Sword Stance, Magnet Rise, Iron Head, and he's most probably got the Close Combat as well. So that's a damn scary set. We get full health, we get a little bit of toxic damage, and we're just going to get straight the hell out of here. And we're going to switch into, I wouldn't say it's a counter, of course it isn't, but my Dragalge can eat up hits from this, and a Draco at this position now, it's with the rocks, a little tiny bit of damage. We don't even go to Drake into him. Okay, we go into the Mew, which can eat up a close combat if that's what you want us to go for. Dragalge could have also done that, but I thought my Mew could eat it up better, and if we can survive 2 attacks, I can get the Wisp off. Wow, that was a lot of talking. And we at this range now, we're at 49 health, and we're so close from the Stab Iron Head to living. So goddamn close. I know it was a roll, and he just manages to take us down. Otherwise, that Wisp would hit, completely neutralising the Gaibriul as a threat. Now I come in with a Dragalge, knowing I can drop a Draco, or as I do, just go for a Scald to try and fish for that burn, because I don't want the Draco, which may not have killed, and then have to go for something else with the special attack drop. And if he switches, again, I don't want to be in that position where he can come back in with it and set up all over me. So I go for the Scald, and this should destroy the Landorus. Even full HP, investment into special defense should destroy it. But we get a ridiculous low roll there, and he doesn't take it out, and it gives him his final opportunity to set up rocks, and that sucks. Because if we'd have killed that there, then everything has a free switch, and we're okay to bring him in without any damage. But no, he gets up rocks, and with his last dying breath, that's what it does. My Mew, of course, is now gone, so I can't defog him away, but it's not so bad. It just means I can't be too rash with my Beedrill or my Kieran. Now he comes straight back in with this. Now the Iron Head is going to do an okay amount of damage, but it's not going to do enough to 2-hit KO me. So I know I can just fire for Scald, fish for that burn to try and keep my health as high as possible in this Dragalge, because a Draco would be, it's a roll, and I don't want to rely on rolls this game. We've already had some bad hacks. So I'm going to fire for Scald again, and this time, finally, we get the burn. Now this means that I am safe to just switch out to soak up a Iron Head from my Hippowdon, without a doubt. I can take the hit, especially now that he's burned, and my Shenron, my Dragalge, stays at as high health as possible. Would have been nice if it was a bit bigger, but you know what, it's alright. We get that Sandstream up once again, and my Hippowdon comes in, taking the Iron Head without any trouble. Watch it eat up the damage. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Now this thing is dead to the burn, and it means he's got 3 mons left. Thundurus, Heracross, and Alakazam. One of those last two has to be scarfed, has to be for him to win. And I already said in my team preview, I feel like it'll be the Alakazam, because otherwise the Alakazam gets destroyed by my Beedrill, so why would you bring it? And the Heracross, I think, is Choice Banded. He comes in with the Thundurus, and I make a very big mistake there. I don't know why the hell I stayed in with this. I should have gone straight out into the Dragalge, because it's quite obvious at this point he doesn't have Hidden Power Ice, and the Grass Knot is purely for their Powdon. And my Dragalge can take that for days. I don't know why I stayed in, so we've just lost him on there. And up to that point in the battle, I was playing well. This is where it starts to go downhill for me. Mentally, I start playing very badly. He comes in, he's fearing, it's obvious, that's why he switched out the Cobalion, he's fearing that this is true Scarfed. So I bring it in, knowing he's going to go for Thunder Wave, because it's obvious, and that does nothing to this. I'm slower than every mon he has left, I'm knocking him out speed, so it's a free kill with Thundurus. I'm okay with that as long as I don't get Parallax, which we don't. So we end up smashing the Thundurus, it takes ridiculous amounts of damage, it goes down, and there's Emboar with a kill. And this is where everything starts to collapse. Because of my misplay earlier on, Heracross comes in. With Heracross coming in, I'm fearing now. If this is Truce Banded, I can deal with it. If this is Scarfed, I am fucked. He kills my Choji, that goes down. There's mistake number 1. I should have switched to Dragalge, without a shadow of a doubt, to see what he wanted to lock himself into. That's mistake number 1. This thing, I'm going to tell you now, this thing is Scarfed. This thing is made to destroy me. I need Sandstream to keep hitting little bits of damage so that my attacks have a chance to KO it. Because now figuring out this is Scarfed, it destroys my team. Because everything relies on rolls. There's chances for things to kill as long as he takes that little bit more damage. So, go for the Protect, take a hit, Mega Evolve, can't outspeed this. So, I'm screwed basically at this moment. I need the Sandstorm to keep hitting, and we lose Sandstorm there. So losing my Hippowdon earlier on instead of Dragalge, massive. Should have kept it in because I could have switched it in now. Got the Sandstream up and taking little bits of damage again. Instead, Dragalge goes down to an Earthquake, which he's locked into because it destroys every one of my Mons now. And there's Shenron gone. So I have 2 Mons left, which are Kyurem and Beedrill. Now I can deal with the Alakazam without any trouble with the Beedrill because I have Foul Stinger if he's got Sash, which he does have Sash, but it was kind of obvious it was either going to be Scarfed or Sashed with him bringing it. So I have to bring in Kyurem and hope for the roll. I know I can eat an attack up from a +2. I know I can eat the Earthquake. I know I can without a doubt. It's whether my Ice Beam can, either we get ridiculously lucky and we get a freeze, or we can KO it with a very, very, very high roll. We fire off the Ice Beam and, I mean, you know it already. No chance of us KOing that, and we see it doesn't even do that much really. And that's going to be game, because he's going to be able to Earthquake this. My Beedrill can not outspeed, and it's going to take the Earthquake and go completely and utterly down. The problem there was I had misplays towards the end. I saw victory, and it caused my vision to be blurred, and it meant that I made some stupid decisions. Should not have stayed in with my Hippowdon on Thundurus, should have gone straight out into Dragalge, and I should not have stayed in with my Emboar against this Heracross. I should have realised straight away, should have just clicked that it was Scarfed, taken out, brought in Dragalge, let that go down, come back in with Emboar, hit with a Sucker Punch, which would have done about 20 to 30, I think it was like 25 to 35% damage. And then from there, I could have let that go down, my Kyurem can come in, take a hit, Ice Beam, Heracross is done for. I'd have no problem whatsoever then. He'd probably bring, like, that wouldn't be game over because he could have switched out, there could have been a lot of things he could do, but it would put me in a position where I've got a bit of power, where I'm okay. If he doesn't, like, attack my Kyurem, if he doesn't go for, then my Kyurem is at a very, very good amount of health and I can fire off and hit things very hard. But it does mean that we do lose our first game. 2-0 to Sky, and he's a deserved victor because he outplayed me and he played his Heracross very, very well. I did think it was coming, and I did say that it's going to be probably banded, and I let that sink into my head. I completely miscalled it, and didn't realise how much my team actually got destroyed by it. I could have kept in Hippowdon. I would have been able to deal with it. Mew would have gone down because he's probably got Pin Miss out, Megahorn, sorry. And my Kyurem should 100% have been Scarfed. It should have been. It was a very, very stupid decision for me to change that last minute. And yeah, very stupid. That's going to be it though, guys. So we've lost our first game. We've got one match postponed, so we can win, hopefully, that against Sis. And next week I need to play better against the
Trip and the Dallas Staravias.
It's going to be tough, but I've got it in me. And I'm hopeful. And I'm not confident. I'm not a confident person. I'm not confident with this team yet. I need to learn it a lot better. But anyway, guys, if you have enjoyed this, please don't forget to smash that like button below the video and show your appreciation for the ally Galuxray. Also, and more importantly, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you thought of my team building prep, and also what you think I could have done differently. Scold me completely, because that's what I need to hear, because I need to get good. Because I am not this season, and I need to improve. Thank you so much for watching, though, guys. I'm loving life, and I hope to God you are too. I'll see you next time.